Some countries are known for their rich history, stunning landscapes, and vibrant cultures, but there are also places that remain off limits to tourists for various reasons. Why are these 5 countries banned for travelers? Whether it's due to political instability, safety concerns, or strict government regulations, these nations have placed significant barriers on tourism. While it may seem intriguing to visit these forbidden destinations, there are serious risks involved. In this video, we'll uncover the reasons behind these travel bans and explore the complexities that make these countries no-go zones for tourists. Today, you will talk about why are these 5 countries banned for tourists. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. Travel is an incredible experience. It opens up the world, exposes us to different cultures, and allows us to connect with people from all walks of life. However, not all destinations are welcoming to tourists. While many countries roll out the red carpet for visitors, there are some that have imposed strict bans on tourism for various reasons. These travel restrictions can be due to political unrest, safety concerns, cultural reasons, or even health risks. In this video, we're going to explore 5 countries where tourists are either banned or heavily restricted from visiting and the reasons behind these prohibitions. 1. North Korea. North Korea is perhaps the most infamous example of a country where tourism is tightly controlled. The country is notorious for its isolation from the rest of the world and its oppressive regime. While it is not technically banned for tourists, visiting North Korea is highly restricted. The government allows tourists to visit, but only under very specific conditions. To visit North Korea, travelers must book a tour through an approved tour operator, and these tours are usually accompanied by government minders who ensure that tourists stay on the prescribed path. Independent travel is not permitted, meaning tourists cannot explore the country on their own. The regime also monitors the behavior of tourists, and any form of criticism or deviation from the tour guidelines could result in serious consequences. North Korea is a totalitarian state under the control of the Kim dynasty, and the government imposes strict censorship over all media, both domestic and foreign. This makes it a highly controlled environment, and tourists must adhere to the country's strict rules. The government controls where tourists can go, what they can see, and even what they can talk about. Additionally, there is a constant risk of arrest for violating any of these rules, whether intentional or not. Most governments, including the US, have travel advisories in place warning their citizens about the dangers of visiting North Korea. The country has a volatile relationship with many foreign nations, especially when it comes to nuclear weapons testing and other military activities. Because of this, the risks involved in visiting are high, making it a country that many choose to avoid altogether. 2. Syria. Syria is another country that is heavily restricted for tourists, and this is primarily due to the ongoing civil war that has ravaged the country for over a decade. The conflict has left Syria in a state of devastation, with large parts of the country under the control of various militias and much of its infrastructure destroyed. The Syrian civil war, which began in 2011, has caused immense suffering for the civilian population. Thousands of people have been killed and millions have been displaced. In areas that are still controlled by the government, there are risks of bombings, military clashes, and a presence of extremist groups. This makes it incredibly dangerous for anyone to visit the country, including tourists. Governments around the world, including the United States, Canada, and the European Union, have issued strong travel warnings to avoid Syria due to the extreme dangers. Foreign tourists are not only at risk of being caught in the crossfire of ongoing conflicts, but also face the risk of being kidnapped by rebel groups or extremist factions. In some cases, foreign nationals have been taken hostage or killed while visiting Syria, which has resulted in travel bans for safety reasons. Even if you could somehow navigate your way to Syria, there are few available services for tourists, and the country is lacking in basic infrastructure. Hospitals and medical services are stretched thin, and in some cases, they may not be available at all in certain parts of the country. As a result, the risk of traveling to Syria far outweighs any potential reward for tourists. 3. Libya. Libya, a North African country rich in history and culture, was once a popular destination for tourists, especially for those interested in exploring its ancient ruins. Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, the country has descended into chaos and has become one of the most unstable regions in the world. Libya is currently divided between competing governments, armed militias, and extremist groups, all vying for control. The power vacuum left by Gaddafi's ouster has led to a lawless environment where violence, kidnappings, and terrorist attacks are a frequent occurrence. The situation is made worse by the country's weak infrastructure and lack of security. While some areas may appear peaceful, the reality on the ground can change rapidly, making it extremely dangerous for foreign nationals to visit. In addition to the risk of violence, Libya has become a hotbed for human trafficking, with thousands of migrants using the country as a gateway to Europe. This contributes to an already volatile and dangerous environment for anyone in the region. As a result, most countries have issued strong warnings or outright bans against traveling to Libya, and it remains off limits to most tourists. 4. Yemen. Yemen, located on the southern tip of the Arabian Peninsula, is another country where tourists are effectively banned due to ongoing conflict. Yemen has been embroiled in a civil war since 2014, with the government fighting against Houthi rebels and the involvement of various international forces. The conflict has led to widespread destruction, humanitarian crisis, and an unstable security environment. The war in Yemen has resulted in a situation where access to many areas is severely restricted, and the threat of violence is constant. Both government and rebel forces have been accused of committing war crimes, and extremist groups, including Al-Qaeda and ISIS, have taken advantage of the chaos to operate within the country. As a result, traveling to Yemen is considered to be extremely dangerous. Most foreign governments have issued official travel bans for Yemen, and citizens from countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia are strongly advised against visiting. In addition to the violence, Yemen also suffers from a severe shortage of medical care, food, and water, which further exacerbates the danger for anyone considering a visit. In addition to the immediate dangers of violence and political instability, there is also a significant risk of being kidnapped or caught in crossfire during your time in Yemen. The country is not equipped to handle foreign tourists, and most infrastructure is either destroyed or non-functional. 5. Somalia. Somalia, a country located on the Horn of Africa, has had a long history of instability and conflict, primarily due to clan warfare, terrorism, and the collapse of its central government in the early 1990s. While some regions of the country have become more stable in recent years, many areas remain extremely dangerous for tourists. The primary reason for the tourist ban in Somalia is the ongoing threat of terrorism and piracy. Groups like Al-Shabaab have carried out numerous attacks in the region, targeting both locals and foreigners. In addition, Somali pirates are infamous for hijacking ships in the waters off the coast of the country, often taking hostages and demanding ransoms. The United Nations and many countries, including the United States and the United Kingdom, have issued travel warnings and advised against all but essential travel to Somalia. While Somalia is home to rich cultural history, stunning landscapes, and beautiful coastlines, these attractions are overshadowed by the persistent dangers that plague the country. The risk of terrorism, violent crime, and the lack of basic infrastructure make it a destination that most tourists choose to avoid. As you can see, there are many reasons why certain countries are off-limits to tourists. Political instability, civil war, terrorism, and a lack of infrastructure are just some of the factors that contribute to these travel bans. While these countries may have rich cultural histories and stunning landscapes, the risks involved in visiting them are simply too great. Tourism should be about exploring new places, learning about different cultures, and enjoying unique experiences. However, it is important to be aware of the risks and to respect the safety of both locals and travelers. In many cases, avoiding these destinations is not just a matter of personal safety, but also about protecting the people who live there from the negative impacts of tourism. The world is full of amazing places to visit, and while some countries remain closed off, there are countless others that are eager to welcome visitors. It's always a good idea to check travel advisories before planning a trip, and to consider the safety of both yourself and the communities you'll be visiting. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.